Hey, what's going on, YouTube? Glad you guys were able to make it with us once again. What's going on, big bro?
Man. What's that, brother?
Oh, man, I can't complain, man. Life has been wonderful, beautiful. How about yourself?
Man, blessed by the best. Rarely stressed, you feel me? But I want to talk about this story, man. It's disturbing, man. I don't know, man. I mean, we had a situation like that up here in Milwaukee around. I mean, this is just not in one city. This is from city to city.
Yes.
And, you know, the things that we have to really just, I think it's becoming a serious problem. So I do want to run the clip and let you guys check it out and let us know what you think.
Hundreds of teens flooding into downtown Chicago tonight, smashing car windows, trying to get into Millennium Park, prompting a major police response. Within the past few minutes, shots were fired near the corner of Madison and Michigan. Now, we had a news crew on the scene, but they had to move because of safety concerns. I was there a little bit earlier, about an hour and a half ago, and saw police escorting tourists and visitors to their cars in the Millennium Park parking garage. The crowd was trying to get into Millennium Park, but there are checkpoints that are not allowing anyone under the age of 21 who's not with an adult to get in. So they're massing across the street on the other side of Michigan Avenue. I spoke to a woman whose car was smashed by people jumping on the windshield. She says the crowd began beating her husband as he sat in the driver's seat. He's now been sent to Northwestern Memorial Hospital. I also talked to a woman, a Chicago native, who was appalled by what she saw.
What I see out here is completely ludicrous, to be honest with you. I'm appalled at what I see. I'm from Chicago, and I understand kids having a good time, but this is simply bad parenting. We have to do better as parents. Our kids should not be out here. Where are their parents at? That's my question.
The situation continues to develop at this hour. As we mentioned, we have a reporter on the scene, but there are some security concerns. Fox 32's Nate Rogers is on Michigan Avenue in a protective position. Nate, can you tell us what you see right now?
Yeah, that's right, Dane. As you just mentioned, we're downtown on Michigan and Randolph. I'm actually probably a block away from a lot of where the chaos has originated. Right now, Chicago police are trying to clear Michigan Avenue, at least from Randolph until maybe 3 or 4 blocks south on Michigan. Very active scene indeed. Hundreds of officers working this investigation. There are reports, unconfirmed by Chicago police, of multiple people shot at Michigan and Washington, also Michigan and Wabash. The Chicago Fire Department, we're told, is here along with paramedics and Chicago SWAT teams, all assisting in this investigation. Now, the chaos here downtown began or erupted just before 8 p.m. Several hundred young people traveling in groups, kids seen jumping barricades into Millennium Park, also jumping on top of cars. Other reports indicated large groups trying to force their way into the Art Institute. This appears to be one of those teen takeovers that we saw last year, publicized widely on social media, attracting thousands into the downtown area as well as to Chicago area beaches. The teens are seen with their cell phones out, Bluetooth music speakers blasting, dancing while recording videos, hoping that they'll go viral. Now, I'm back out here live really just within the last 10 minutes or so ago. My photographer and I, Raphael, we heard at least 4 gunshots while we were standing at Michigan and Washington. We ran along with another TV news crew just to get to safety. Maybe 5 minutes after that, we heard even more gunshots. And so right now, Chicago police are trying to clear this area. If you can see from where I'm standing right now, gridlock traffic indeed. I mean, Chicago police here in great numbers, along with the Chicago Fire Department, paramedics. We understand that SWAT teams are here as well. A lot of folks are being rerouted to nearby public transportation just so they can get home. We also have seen police trying to escort tourists back into their hotels. Chicago police working right now to get a handle on all of this. We haven't received any updated information on if there have been any victims associated with any of this. That is the latest here in downtown Chicago. Nate Rogers, Fox 32, Chicago.
Nate, just to clarify, I want to ask you quickly, you're standing at the corner of Michigan and Randolph. Is Michigan Avenue shut down right now?
Yes, sir, at least from our vantage point, Dane. But keep in mind, Michigan and Randolph is probably 500 feet from where I am. I'm a little bit further into, closer back towards the lake, if you will. We really just had to get out of the way.
Man, bro, you know what, bro? I'm just appalled. I mean, they said even in the clip, where the parents? Where the parents at, bro? You know, I mean, you got hundreds and hundreds of kids that's swarming trying to get into Millennium Park. I don't know what festival or whatnot they had over there, but you had to be at least 21 to get up in there. You know what I'm saying? And I think,
right. Or you had to have like a chaperone.
A chaperone, right. You had to be with a parent.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And I guess they couldn't get in. They tried to rush, jump the barricades and stuff. And they tearing up people's cars, stomping on the windows. And I think they jumped on somebody and they were shooting down there and stuff. It's just ridiculous.
It is.
It's out of control. And again, I just, Mo, before, I'm saying I pass it over to you.
Oh, yeah,
it just reminds me of the situation that happened at the Milwaukee Bucks.
Yeah, a couple years.
A couple years ago, when they won the championship and them kids down there, massive, was hundreds of them too down there, man. And like 20-some, I think, got shot. 20-some people got shot.
It was the year after the championship.
Was it the year after?
Yes,
Okay,
yes.
I know it was one.
But it was the playoffs.
But it was the playoffs, yeah. So it was, real tense.
Yeah.
It was
17 people got shot that
Was it 17?
Yeah, 17 people.
Just after 11 o'clock last night, police responded to this. 17 people shot near water in Juneau.
This is the experience I will never forget.
How did it
ever.
make you feel?
Traumatizing.
Police say they arrested 10 people and recovered 10 guns. Everyone shot, police say, is expected to survive.
Yeah, that's just ridiculous, man.
It is.
And then watch this stuff that happened down in Chicago. And see, Chicago is just a great place if you want to get some great food, great entertainment. They have so many festivals and summer events down there, and even in the wintertime they have a lot of things to do, plays and whatnot. It's Chicago, okay? I'm just thinking about the older people that were there with their families, trying to really just have a good time.
Yeah, the out-of-towners.
Yeah, the out-of-towners. There's a lot of people that come from out of town to Chicago to enjoy the festivities. And then you have all these kids. And see, this is my thing. I'm like, well, what happens when one or two of them teenagers get hurt or get killed because they got guns, they're shooting, and police or somebody's defending themselves and shoot them or whatnot, then they mamas, then that's the time you see their mamas on TV talking about you killed my son. Where was you before your son left the house to go downtown to try to, get into Millennium Park with about 200 or 300 other kids that did not have any chaperones or parents with them? I don't get it, But I don't know, Mo. I'm going to pass it to you. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to take up. But I'm just really passionate about this because these are our kids that's doing it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They're our kids. They are the next generation. They are the future. And I don't know if half of them gonna make it.
I agree in the aspect of the fact that these children are they going not all of them, and I'm not gonna put all of the youth into a box. So if there's any youth watching this video, I know all of y'all are not the same. I know it's a bunch of y'all, but there's only a couple or a few people that's committing these ridiculous acts, these rude acts, busting out cars, and stuff like that.
We still had a good time up to the point where the teens started running in.
Eric Anderson and LaTanisha Thomas walked with the mentoring group that night.
We just hearing loud crowds come from each side.
Overwhelmed, because just why?
Yet when they saw who was causing the panic,
it really made me feel like kind of angry a little bit.
Because those wreaking havoc looked just like them, and that fear turned into shame.
They setting that image for us as a community.
The majority in the crowd were unsupervised black teens. It's believed these downtown takeovers and recordings are all for social media clout. But much of what we saw was criminal, not mischievous. People were injured, property damaged, and 2 were shot.
They put it on social media, so people gonna see it. People gonna look at you like you this type of person, like you a gangster or you tough.
But even at age 14, Lontanisha can't understand how those teens don't see their actions could lead to racial profiling.
They look at us like, okay, you got one black child doing wrong, so all black kids do wrong, when it's really not that at all.
The youngsters from the mentoring group and many like them say they are afraid to come back.
Should nobody feel like they don't want to go downtown?
So what do these youngsters believe it will take to stop the takeovers?
I feel like somebody with a lot of clout just needs to, show us, like, it's other stuff you can do, or like
somebody that come from our city, that came from where we come from,
that's well known,
what we've been through, and tell them like, no,
stop doing
this
it.
ain't the way it go. Like,
the thing is that you're right. It's happening everywhere. It's happening in Baltimore.
This viewer's video shows the moments that unfolded after the gunfire. A massive crowd of youth seen running in all directions.
It's happening in Compton.
What started off as reports of a street takeover turned out to be much more. There were multiple street takeovers throughout Compton overnight, several leading to looting. Up to 500 people may have been involved. Eyewitness News reporter Tim Pulliam has details on all the chaos.
Chaos in Compton overnight.
Let me get a huddle on number 7.
A crowd of people using anything, including their own feet, to smash into this Arco convenience store at the corner of South Central Avenue and Alondra. Stunning video capturing it all. We showed it to customers Sunday.
What is your reaction to this?
It's unbelievable, unreal. I've never seen anything like that happen here.
Yeah, this is very scary, and that's not safe.
What's scary about it for you guys?
The mob of people, period. You don't know how they're going to react once they get in. And then if somebody's in there, I know that they're terrified.
Once inside, the mob seen clamoring for the goods. In this angle, you can clearly see this thief snatching condoms. All this happening while the clerk hid in the bathroom.
These are the times that we're living in. We're living in critical times. So really, it's not surprising.
Compton Sheriff's Office says the break-ins at this store and a nearby laundromat stemmed from this. Investigators say overnight, hundreds of street racers took over intersections across the city, including this one by the Arco.
That right there was unacceptable. I mean, somebody needs to be in trouble.
I seen a couple news clips where they doing the same thing out there. Yeah. It's just like, man, I see the pattern that you see.
Right.
And I felt so bad for the couple that got beat up. For the couple that got beat up, I'm gonna let this clip roll.
It was just absolutely random. We didn't know anybody. We were just trying to walk through a group of people.
Caught up in a mob, 2 out-of-towners sharing their story after being beaten by teens downtown on Saturday.
A key part of the story, the Good Samaritan who stepped in to help.
Anthony Pause is live with more tonight. Anthony?
Yes, Corey, and on this attack happened here on the 100 block of North Wabash Avenue Saturday night. It could have ended way worse had it not been for the intervention of a truly good Samaritan who says that the video of this attack that went viral over the weekend really only captures the tail end of what she describes as an absolutely brutal attack. The victims here, a couple visiting from out of town. They're in their early 20s, staying in an Airbnb. They were out to dinner, just trying to enjoy their night.
We were just downtown in Chicago trying to shop, trying to get some food. And we were walking down the street, and there was a really big group of guys, a really big group of people.
And girls.
Yeah, guys and girls. And, DJ had my hand, and he was trying to lead me through the crowd of people. And they pushed him, they pushed me. And as soon as they pushed me, I told DJ, I said, hey, they just shoved me.
The mob attack happened right near Macy's Wabash Street entrance.
And it was a mob of about 60 to 100 people.
You know, they said they're gonna kill us. They turned around and, you know, started fighting, you know.
They were shoeless. They didn't have they were looking for their phones, but it was no point because the phones had been taken away.
Both the victims and Lenora Dennis, the woman who came to their aid, say that several Chicago police officers passed by but did not intervene.
Cops drove right by it, act like they didn't see anything.
I literally went out into the street and stopped and held my hands up to a police car and asked them to stop and motioned them over to what was going on. And they just cut a path around me and just kept going.
She was eventually able to get the couple into her car. Then she drove them to the police station.
Got told by the desk sergeant that this was going to happen. It was going to keep happening because Brandon Johnson got elected. That floored me.
An ambulance then took them to the hospital, but the couple was without their phones, wallets, and shoes, which had all been stolen during the attack.
I told the couple that I was going to go home to find them some shoes so that they wouldn't be barefoot for the rest of the night.
Her name is Lenore.
Wow. She gave us shoes, took us home, took us to the hospital.
Her husband as well.
Thank you.
Just do unto others. And that's a mantra that I live by every day, is just do unto others as you would have them do unto you.
See, man, that's what I'm talking about. The couple that got beat up, but fortunately, to that woman, that sister out there, helped save that young couple because the police, they didn't care. They seen it roll right past.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? So
scared themselves, huh?
Yeah, but they got guns.
Right.
They got guns. Well, against this woman who ain't got no weapon.
Right.
You know, but that's a whole nother story. But the thing is I would like to also speak on the same fact that, yeah, you know, our children, we be acting. I was acting, I ain't gonna lie. I was acting up. When I was a youth, I was doing the same stuff. Like, I remember they had the set for Twister at Washington Park. And me and my guys went up there, and you know, this is our neighborhood. You know, we broke down that fence too, to get in there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that's just stuff that we didn't mean no harm to nobody.
Right, you just
know
wanted
what I'm
to get
saying?
in, right.
Yeah, but we want to enjoy the festivities too, and since you having it here, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Hey, so I understand, I get it, you know, but I would like to also point out the fact that they do it too. You know what I'm saying? But when they do it, they just celebrating their team.
Hey, you guys. Well, every student that I spoke with today said that UConn was going to win by double digits. Now, look at all these students. It's like a human stampede. Just listen. They are excited. This is the first men's national championship since 2014, the first one that these students have ever witnessed. And you can see police officers are on guard, keeping them away from the classrooms. And we'll have more about the students' excitement later on tonight. But just take a look at it. It's a 3. Oh, there's a stop sign down. So they're getting a little rowdy. You see that stop sign? But these students are here and they're celebrating.
But tearing down light poles and stop signs isn't part of the plan.
What'd you see?
Seen a lot of things.
Saw a lot of criminal mischief.
Began as a chaotic celebration, turned to mayhem overnight as an estimated crowd of 15,000 revelers rioted in the streets, setting fires and trashing homes. Someone even opening fire on a crowded street, shooting one person as the campus celebrated the Wildcats' NCAA championship win. The gunman, who reportedly ran into a crowd, remains on the loose.
They just, they team one, so they tear up the city and stuff like that.
Right.
You know,
Climb light poles.
Climb light poles, take them apart.
Burn cars.
Set
flip them
fires.
over. Yeah, you know what I mean? But I'm looking towards our generation, you know, our young.
Yes.
You know what I mean? I'm not Xing anybody else's kids or, white kids or Hispanic kids or anything like that. But I mean, we gotta first fix ourselves first before we can worry about what somebody else is doing.
And I would first like to say this too, that it's no comparison, but they make it a comparison in the news.
In the news,
when they
and I agree.
speak on it.
I agree.
You know what I mean? Otherwise, I don't give a rat's patoot what they do. But the thing is that is the simple fact that I understand how it was, even like I said, when I was young, and when I did move with my father, he worked all the time, man.
Right.
So where the parents are? At work. There's a lot of them are at work. A lot of them are single parents. You know what I'm saying? Some of them are hooked on drugs. Some of them don't care where they children at. You know what I'm saying? Some of them is
jail.
Oh, you know, who knows? You know what I'm saying? Some of these children don't even have they parents in their lives. They being raised by their old grandmother, their grandfather. You know what I'm saying?
You know she tired. She been to raise kids. That's what is it? Grandkids, great grandkids.
Right. And she got other kids to raise in the house too.
Right. They don't even really family, you know, just people dump them off because they know she gonna look out, feed them and do all that. But I want to say this too, Mo. A big part of the problem is social media. I'm just gonna put it out there because this is how they're getting together, Mo. They're putting this stuff on social media saying, well, hey, this is where we're gonna meet up at and this is what we're gonna do. Word spreads around with the social media. See, back in my day, we didn't have social media. So, I mean, our gatherings were nothing like theirs is now because then everybody know.
Yeah, it's
you
a
know
whole
what I'm saying?
lot more.
Right, it's a whole lot more now because now it's on social media. You got people coming from this side of town, that side of town, this side of town, and they're all meeting up in one place.
Right.
You know, so there's a whole lot more of them now that's doing and meeting up just on the strength of social media. They're using social media to get together to do these type of things.
You know, what I could see is and you're right, and in a lot of aspects, what I could see is that the social media, what it brings about is a mob mentality. It brings about a Simon Says mentality. You know what I'm saying? Every time they come up with a challenge, you know, everybody's got to do it. You know, I mean, I'm not going to do no challenge. You know what I'm saying? Y'all can have all the challenges you want.
Right.
I'm not finna do no challenge, and I'm pretty sure, bro, you're not finna do the ice bucket challenge.
No.
You know, let's see, you know, try to get some views. The thing is, though, is that a lot of the youth out here is so concerned with fitting in and being a part of this social environment. The social environment is everything that we see on social media, basically.
Right. They want the likes, the you know what I'm saying, and the clout from the stuff, the actions that they're displaying. You know what I mean? They want everybody to see them.
Yes. And if you remember back in the day, to be different or outside of that was a no-no.
Right.
Because you don't want your peers looking at you strange and,
right.
You know what I'm saying? You know, and a lot of these children are the same way that we was when we was coming up. We want to be able to fit in too. So, so in a lot of ways, I understand why the youth doing this. They don't have nothing else to do. You know, they don't have nothing else that's established there for the youth to do.
Well, I think even if it was, you know, I think a lot of them prefer to do what they're doing because social media has just really taken over. That is the new thing to do for these kids. It just is. Because I noticed that you can't, you know, adults are on their phone 24 hours a day too. I get that, but so are kids. You know, instead of being, you know, back in our days, you know what I mean, when we were young, we come home from school. What do? We go outside. And go hang out. We would go to a boys' club, or we go to the park and play some ball or something like that.
Yeah, we want to do that.
You know what I'm saying? That's what we were doing: riding bikes, skateboards, whatever it was.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But now you got a lot of these kids out here.
But also, bro, not as teenagers. When I became a teenager, I got well into my teens. I kind of stopped, you know, doing all. I got into, you know, what everybody else kind of
Right,
doing.
right.
You know
No,
what I mean?
I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
You know, I get what you're saying, but I just think, and this is just my opinion, you know, but there was stuff for us to do as teenagers. I mean, I still, as a teenager, I play ball. Excuse me.
Oh yeah.
You know, I was playing ball and, still doing stuff like that. So,
yeah.
But I mean, now it's just like, and I'm not saying kids do not play ball, and that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that the social media is taking a lot of their attention now, whereas it's taking away their attention from just the basic things that we used to do as kids.
You know, it's a double-edged sword in so many ways because it can help, but then it can hurt. And in this case, this is one of the examples of it hurting because, we got so many, and it's from coast to coast. It's not like, just Chicago. And so I don't want to put Chicago on a bad light either. I love Chicago.
Oh, yeah.
And just
hometown.
Yes. So when we talk about, the youth, from coast to coast, man, it's just, it's a factor of a multitude of things. I agree with you that social media is a part of it. And I also agree with other people who are talking about the parents, are where are the parents, which I understand.
Well, social media are the parents. That's what you
That's
gotta
the
realize.
bad part.
They are the parents. They're the ones that are teaching the child. They're not learning from the parents.
Exactly. And see, that was my third
Right.
thing.
You know what I'm saying?
That's what I was getting to, is the fact that there is no, as far as you want to talk about, like, okay, the morals and the values or even the respect, when it comes to elders and stuff like that, that's gone away. So that's why we can see them going down there and just causing a ruckus and hurting grown folk. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, we shouldn't be seeing that. If y'all want to go, if we had a situation where there was a group of kids and it didn't matter how many group of kids it was when I was young, I could be hanging with a group of my peers, you know what I'm saying? And say we come across an older woman or something, she tell us something, we go ahead, we respect that, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
And we keep it moving. We might say something slick, down the road, but we not finna go over there and get to messing with her. We not finna beat her up or nothing. We not finna trash her house, nothing like that, you know what I'm saying? But I see today, it's like, you know what, if you say something, you know what I'm saying? If you say something about what it is that they're doing, you know what I'm saying? It's almost as if, and I seen it, especially the mob that was beating on that couple. They was just trying to walk through the crowd.
Right.
Which personally, I wouldn't have took my lady through that crowd.
Not at all.
You know what I'm saying?
Not at all.
Yeah, because old girl got pushed and then she came to her man, was like, hey, these guys pushed me. What you gonna do? Oh, now he come around, he turn around, now he gotta try to protect her harder, but he going up against 60 people though.
Right.
You know
So
what I'm saying?
I'm agreeing with you because now you go the other way because you already know something like that's gonna happen.
Right.
You as the man, you supposed to guide the woman. I don't care what she say.
Yeah.
If she won't say something different, let her walk through and do the crowd by herself.
Sure.
If she don't want to follow directions, especially when I'm trying to help her protect her. You know what I'm talking about?
Right.
So,
So with that said, bro, man, you got anything else you want to add to this? Because I feel like we could continue going on, but I think we hit on so many good
I think
points.
we hit the basic points, and that's all I think is probably required, with this clip or whatnot. So, I'm good.
Hey, y'all heard it, man. The dialogue. This was bro's idea to do this clip right here, and I believe that it was a real good idea because this is what we seeing, and it's rampant, and it's something that is a problem that I see is growing.
Yes.
So, good clip, bro.
Yeah, I appreciate it. I hope you guys out there like it as well.
Yes. So smash those likes.
Smash
those likes. Okay, until next video.
Peace.
Peace.